visual artist in Chicago, from Chicago. Huge thank you to Art After Dark for inviting me to be a part of this episode and be a part of their channel and their creative community. I really appreciate what you guys do for creatives. It's awesome. Super, super cool that you put us out there and support us, and thank you. I'm going to try to talk about myself. I'm not the best at doing so we'll see where we go with this. Like I said, I am an artist from Chicago. This is some of my work that's behind me, some of the stuff I'm working on, some of the stuff that's already done. I started my creative whatever when I was a kid. I always liked to draw and color and all of that stuff. I started off drawing Looney Tunes characters, and I drew a lot of Goofy. My nickname was Goofy that I gave myself. I don't know why. It wasn't very funny. I just think I liked him, and I would sign my name as Goofy for things and then draw his snout and his teeth, and that was my thing. So I mastered Goofy. And then I just jumped into painting with oil. Kidding. So from Chicago, born and raised here. Grew up on the Northwest Side, near Cortland and Lawndale, like Armitage and Central Park, stuff like that. So we spent a lot of time inside the house. Wasn't the best neighborhood, so me and my family have always stayed indoors. Me and my sister would draw a lot. Art was one of the things I loved about school. I was a big nerd with all the other subjects though, but art was amazing, and very much enjoyed. I went to Lakeview High School, which is huge on art and music, and unfortunately didn't have a lot of classes pertaining to art, but what we did do was awesome. And when I went to college, I went to Northeastern and I took a couple art classes there. When I say a couple, I mean just two, but in one of them, this is one of the bigger paintings that I've painted that I'm actually pretty proud of. It's a replica of a Van Gogh piece, and that kind of propelled me into thinking, I'm not that bad. Like, I can paint, like I can create, like it's kind of cool. But I never thought that I would be doing as much artwork as I am doing now. This was years ago, by the way. But here we are, and I'm getting commissions and painting almost every single day, and it's amazing. It not only brings me joy, but I guess it kind of brings other people joy. It's really interesting to have social media and to be able to put yourself out there and the work that you do and actually get feedback from people from all over the world, being like, yeah, this is great, or I love what you did here, or whatever. So that's kind of amazing. Most of my art, I have no idea what I'm doing right now. Most of my artwork is kind of dark. I'm a very big horror fan, psychological thrillers, all of those types of things, scary games. I love all of that stuff. So a lot of my paintings are darker, but I did paint something recently that's a little bit lighter. It's a bunny, but it's on fire. But I guess it's pink. I don't know. But yeah, what I mostly paint is darker things. But what's really cool is I'm starting to get people to ask me to paint things, specific things for them, but in my style, which is really neat. And I never thought I'd be here right now with doing these kind of things for people. I work in the funeral industry full time, and I went to school for teaching, and then decided that wasn't what I was going to do. Then I went to school for getting my degree in business economics, and then I went to school for cosmetology. So I am not only painting on canvas and stuff, I also very much enjoy creating hair things, painting on hair, all of that. I'm not a licensed cosmetologist or anything like that, not yet, but I soon will be, which is very exciting. Recently, this is kind of funny, recently I was going through stuff and I found some of my artwork from when I was like in 6th grade or 7th grade, and I had to do a Chicago A through Z book, so pick things all the way through the alphabet relating to Chicago, write a blurb about it, and draw or collage. So one of the first things I realized I did was I drew Goofy because but I also drew Hitler, and not just because I wanted to draw Hitler, but this was for J is for Spertus Museum of Judaica. So instead of drawing maybe something related to, I don't know, I drew Hitler. But some of these things are really funny, so I can see, like, finding your old art is really fun. I found recently, besides this, I found some like wrestling signs that I made when I thought I was going to go to WWF SmackDown, and I made signs with like it's really funny, the Brahma Bull, like for The Rock, and like a sign for Mick Foley, and like Stone Cold Steve Austin, and all this artwork, and I'm like, I never went, but I'm just gonna keep it, I guess. So that's some of the artwork I made growing up too. Big wrestling fan back then. I just don't know what's happening with it these days, but it was really cool to find that. It's also really cool to see how like your drawing and art style changes over time, because it definitely does. For most of everything, like I'm self-taught, so I never used watercolors before, and I taught myself kind of how to use them. Oil, I'm just starting off with, and I don't really know what I'm doing there, but I'm learning, and it's kind of interesting considering the time we're in right now with the pandemic and everything. Or the panorama, or the paraphernalia, or whatever you want to call it these days, where everyone is, you know, kind of at home mostly, and I feel like everyone is creating more, which is neat. It's more than neat, it's kind of fantastic. But having all this time inside now kind of forces you to learn things and like teach yourself things, and whether it's like with art, cooking, music, whatever, it's just a really cool time right now. It's also cool to be doing something like this, and I'm very grateful to be invited to do something like this, because someone's gonna watch it, right? And maybe someone will see my artwork later, or maybe someone will, I don't know. We're all inside, but I feel like we are bringing a lot of what's inside out, if that makes any sense, which is really cool. But yeah, you guys could. Oh, this is also another light piece that I did, not so dark. I did Wilbur from Charlotte's Web. Oh, that's not really dark, or not really light. I guess it's not. But the painting isn't, I did this in watercolor. The painting's light, I guess. The movie's sad. But anyway, I can't believe I took up almost 10 minutes. But if you guys want to see any of my artwork or anything, you can find me on Instagram, ashleesmashleeart. You'll see my personal page too, where I do a bunch of makeup and stuff. And if you have questions about anything, message me. If you want to say hello, I'll say hello. Thank you so much again for Art After Dark, for including me in this. I hope you all have an amazing day.